Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
So concern for Wendy.Williams as of late has been at an all-time high. Once upon a time, sis had everything a woman could want, or at least so we thought. Money, power, a beautiful loving family, and a hit show. But behind the scenes proved that the grass is not always greener on the other side. Wendy was fighting something within, and while she got on stage every weekday and sat on her purple couch, her ex-husband, Kevin Hunter, says that Wendy was battling alcoholism. So Kevin is saying that he got together the whole family, including Wendy's now deceased mother, and they had an intervention for Wendy. DebMar Mercury was there, but he said DebMar Mercury did not help the matters. They actually made it worse. Instead of DebMar Mercury actually pushing Wendy to get help, Kevin said that they actually made the situation worse by pretty much telling her, hey, either you get yourself together or the show is gone. And Wendy chose the show. And things have spiraled out of control ever since. We're going to get into that and so much more. But before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any of this tea. Now let's get back into it. So Page 6 spoke exclusively to Kevin Hunter, and he had a lot to say. According to Kevin, DebMar Mercury would not sign off on helping to aid Wendy in recovery from addiction issues. Now, I know it would be some episodes of the Wendy.Williams show that myself and I believe some of you would probably look like, oh my God, what's wrong with Wendy? But the show would easily just blame it on her Graves' disease instead of actually trying to get her help. According to Kevin, the family attended an intervention of sorts with DebMar Mercury, in which he and a group discussed how to further aid Williams in her battle with alcoholism. He says they sat in a meeting with her whole family, including her now deceased mom, and would not sign off on the recovery efforts that would have helped Wendy also get well and live and be sober. They basically said, if you don't stop drinking, you're going to lose the show. Now, I know with any of us that have dealt with anybody that has any type of alcoholism, talking to them like that is going to do absolutely nothing. And I agree that more than likely it made the situation worse. So get this. They're saying that the intervention took place about a month and a half before Hunter would go on to welcome a child with Sharina Hudson, and after Wendy.Williams worked full-time while living in a sober house. But a source close to the show tells Page 6 that Wendy was not 100% upon departing the facility. Now, I know DebMar Mercury was probably looking at the situation like, Kevin, you're the one trying to get her help, although you're the one that probably somewhat put her in this situation. Kevin is saying that Wendy already had these issues, but I believe having a baby with someone else, living down the street with someone else, spending Wendy's money with someone else, possibly put her in this situation as well. I'll say, like I said time and time again, Kevin was a horrible husband, but he was an excellent manager. And now we see how things are spiraling for Wendy, and we see how her management is handling situations. It makes you miss the management that she had with Kevin. Kevin knew when things were not going well with Wendy, he tried his best to keep her out of the limelight. And it seems like now she's being pushed more towards the limelight, and it has everybody concerned. Anytime you're going through any type of addiction, you're not going to make the right decisions for yourself. So Kevin knew the proper people and the proper channels to try to get Wendy help. And I just don't feel like the new people that are around her know exactly how to help her. And that's why I said it seems like we're all starting to miss the management side from Kevin, not the husband side, but the management side. Now they're saying that before Wendy got out of the sober house, before she divorced Kevin, that she wasn't capable of making all the decisions on her own. She wasn't capable then, but she was hiding it. Now, a source tells Page 6 that after Wendy got out of the sober facility, Hunter was very controlling, and he might have been the reason for her entering the sober facility. They said no one thinks it's the right place for Wendy. She seems so frail and vulnerable. It's frightening just how completely under Kevin's control Wendy is, but she won't hear a word against him. Those close to her are terrified something awful is going to happen. She comes to set looking terrible. One thing about that Wendy, I can say that she definitely stood by that man up until the very, very end. I believe that Wendy riding so hard for Kevin and it being all good in Huntersville However, that baby came and she couldn't really hide things anymore. I believe that's when everything kind of took its toll. Yes, Wendy may have already been drinking prior to, but I believe if anything, that might have been the thing that took her over the edge. I believe Kelvin when he says that DebMar Mercury just was not having it. You can see now that they're definitely all about the money. They pretty much threw everything out, honey, but the kitchen sink. Wendy had to come through and get her chair and her wigs. They were on to the next. But that's how a job is. If you work a job now, if you get sick, I highly doubt those people are going to be by your side and say, yeah, go ahead and take your time off. That's how jobs are. And unfortunately, Wendy did not own her show. So if she was no longer a value to the business, even with her name on the marquee, they saw no use for her and they kicked her out. Now, a source goes on to tell Page 6 that Wendy was doing quite well in Miami, but now since returning back to New York, that her alcohol and substance abuse has been at an all-time high. Wendy has not spoken about any addiction issues or confirmed anything, so I'm not sure who that source is. However, anybody that's connected to Wendy needs to know how to get her help if she does need it. And I feel like Kelvin was the only one that can actually talk to her and get her help. When you have yes men in your corner, Michael Jackson had them, Whitney Houston had them. When you have yes men in your corner, they get anything you want and they don't argue it with you. But I feel like Kelvin was the one that was actually like, nah, we're not going to do that. Wendy probably had to go sneak and do certain things, but I don't really feel like Kelvin was like, here goes some alcohol. Here's this, here's that. It's hard to be a celebrity and then have yes men in your corner. That's not what you need. So I just pray that anybody that's in Wendy's circle is there for the right reason. Is not there for the money. Is not there to see what they can get out of it, because we all know there's people out there like that. Before Wendy can give us anything as her fans, I just want her to heal within and fix self. You can't give if you don't got. Period. Well, what I want to do is hear from you. What do you think about Kelvin coming forward, still throwing shots at DebMar Mercury? DebMar Mercury is being quiet. They haven't said anything quite yet. I think they're still in battle with Kelvin, so they're not really going to say too much. I'm sure if someone were to reach out to Lil Kev and have him talk to Big Kev, if they're back talking now, they can get some information as to how to help Wendy, because he was still, even from the outside, trying to tell people how to help Wendy, and they wouldn't listen, and things just got worse. So I pray for Wendy. I pray for her health and her well-being. Get well, sis. But y'all leave a comment. Tell me what you think about everything. And you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.